Now that is what the fuck we're talking about. That was fucking awesome. Okay, now I am going to flee the scene.
The AR-2 Coyote and its reliability. Is it an AK or Galil? Here's what I think influenced the aesthetic design and overall functionality of this weapon, including a brief modern overlook of its AK platform hybrid family tree. From first glance, I could tell the weapon seemed like it took inspiration from the AK-12 and AK-205 and the Israeli Galil Ace platforms. To me, the handguard closely resembles the AK-205. If you look at the magazine, it resembles the waffle magazine that both the AK-205 and AK-12 uses, which is typically chambered in 5.45, a caliber the Galil Ace did not come in. The reason why I say the Galil Ace is because the slanted magwell, where the magazine is inserted in the rifle, is also like the Galil Ace. AK receivers are typically a simple box shape because the former Soviet magazines are locked in by rocking the mag in. And how the gun reloads, it uses the AK rack bolt tech since the bolt is on the right side. So I would think since it's using a 5.45 mag with a Galil lower receiver, the weapon typically wouldn't work. But that is what makes the Coyote unique in my eyes. The gas block seems non-existent, so it's safe to assume Super Earth just chopped off the small piece. It's medium penetration, so it can be safe to assume it's chambered at 5.45 or 7.62 FMJ or AP rounds. Remember, all of this is just my safe assumptions, and who knows what sort of bullet or gun science Super Earth has come up with. Anyways, let's get into what I think is the hybrid family tree for the AR-2 Coyote. The AK-105. An AK carbine chambered in 5.45 by 39mm, the AK-105 is used domestically by the Russian army in contrast to the other AK-100 series. Compared to its cousins, AK-101 and AK-103, the AK-105 is a carbine rifle featuring a shorter 12.4-inch barrel and a solid, side-folding polymer stock allowing easier transportation. The AK-105 has matching polymer pistol grip, magazines, and forward handguard. It was developed to replace the even shorter, compact AKS-74U, however, both rifles are still in service. Countries like Brazil adopted the AK-105 for urban and counter-narcotic operations. It's used in Syrian Special Forces and used by Azerbaijan State Border Service. The AK-205. The AK-205 is a carbine chambered in 5.45 by 39mm. The AK-205 is a modernized version of the AK-105. The AK-200 series, AK-205, AK-202, and AK-204 are very similar in design, the only difference being the chambering, barrel length, and the magazine type. The AK-205 features a rail on the receiver cover, upper handguard, and lower handguard with an optional quad rail system. The AK-205 receiver cover is hinged on the rear sight block with retaining lever in the back, which is responsible for maintaining and securing. Its selector allows for single and full auto mode with a rate of fire at 700 rounds per minute. The AK-12, a gas-operated assault rifle chambered in 5.45 by 39mm, designed and manufactured by the Kalashnikov concern. From 2012 to 2015, the first prototype was introduced and the model uses the same gas-operated long-stroke piston system of the previous Kalashnikov rifles, but many features are different from its family. The cocking handle is moved forward and can be attached to both sides for ambidextrous use. The final production model addresses the Russian army concerns regarding the issues in fully automatic fire and the cost of earlier prototype models, and it was also expected to be much cheaper to build. It also incorporates many of the same improvements developed from the earlier prototype models of the AK-12, but also improves the strength of the rifle. The final production model of the AK-12 has a rate of fire of 700 rounds per minute. It was used in the Syrian Civil War and the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The Israeli Galil Ace-22. The Galil Ace series is based upon the original design of the Galil, but instead utilizes a modern design to increase its accuracy and lower its weight, while maintaining the original Galil's ergonomics, ease of maintenance, and reliability under battle conditions. The gas tube, unlike the AK-47 system, is mounted on the rifle via a slide machine on the receiver upper front block. This avoids many movement of the gas blocking influencing barrel vibration, which would degrade accuracy. Has a rate of fire of 660 and 880 per minute. Today, the Galil Ace-22 is used by many countries such as Chad, Mexico, Chile, Peru, South Sudan, Thailand, Laos, and Vietnam. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of the Coyote. For the Coyote, you do have the option to go auto or semi-auto. Personally, I like going auto. If I need a tap fire, I can just tap my mouse. I will not switch to semi. And if I need a full throttle, I can just hold down my mouse. That is just a personal preference for me. What I've noticed is for the Coyote, it's like a 6 to 8 tap to all three overseers. Why I say 6 to 8 tap is because 6 can be the lowest status effect. If the status effect aren't bugged, it can be a consistent 6 tap, but if they are bugged, which they are most of the time, it's going to be towards a 7 and 8 tap, especially if you allow that fire damage to build up. Now I can completely understand if there's a number of overseers overwhelming you, you just want to spray and pray. There's no shame in that, but if you do care about your shots, you just want to count your shots. Most of the time, what I counted was like a 6 to 8 if the status effects aren't bugged. It could be a host issue or just a client issue. Who knows these days? But yeah, it's like a 6 to 8 tap consistently with the Coyote. When it comes to Meat Bob, he's around 40 to 41 shots, mainly because that ballistic damage you are dishing out towards him. And then after the ballistic damage, you have the status effect of fire. And the fire is just the main one that is draining his main HP pool. And if you are continuously firing like I am, that ballistic damage is just going to stack up with the fire damage as well. When it comes to vote lists, they're pretty simple. Most of them are just a one tap, and the fire damage is going to certified kill them anyway. So if they are still alive and you see them on fire, don't even bother trying to finish them off, because the fire damage will just finish them off for you. When it comes to the Harvester, it is a little bit tricky because you do need a fast RPM weapon or just a strong weapon in general to take down that shield. But once you take down that shield, aim for the leg joints, and then once you aim for the leg joints with the Coyote, it takes around 3 mags, maybe 4 mags, depends how your aim is that day. But on average for me, it took around 3 mags because the fire damage and the ballistic damage of the Coyote was strong enough for me to 3 mag the Harvester. Now, like I said, the Harvester is a bit tricky, but it can be done with the Coyote, right? A lot of medium pin weapons in general can take down the Harvester's leg joint. When it comes to the Illuminate faction, I would have to rate the Coyote an S tier weapon. This weapon is a pretty much good counter to all the units, especially the tankier units all the way up to towards the Harvester. You can 3-mag the Harvester. Once 3-magging the Harvester, you are 1-tapping Voteless. Including 1-tapping Voteless, you are 6 to 8 tapping the Overseers. And for the Meat Bob, there may be a lot of them, but hey, at least you can have around 40 to 41 bullets of damage you can dish out towards them with the Coyote. The Coyote is a very strong weapon against this faction. I highly recommend people who haven't got this weapon yet, you should get it, because this weapon against this faction is a good weapon. I would say against this faction is a solid S tier all around. When it comes to the Terminative faction, I would have to rank the Coyote an S tier. When it comes to the Predator Stalkers and Predator Hunters, I have to rank it a high A tier, simply because for Predator Strain, I would like to have a faster RPM or grenade launcher, but it can still hold its own weight against Predator Strain. It's a good A tier weapon because it has that 6 shot it can dish out towards the Predator Stalker, and that 1 shot it can dish out towards the Predator Hunter. For Warriors and Alpha Warriors, it's a 2-tap, simply because that fire damage will just burn them off, and including for the Hunters, just like the Predator Hunters, the Hunters also can get 1 tap as well. For the Hive Guard, he's like a 3-tap to 4-tap, depending on the status effect if the status effects want to apply to him, but what I'm seeing is a consistent 3-tap, and maybe once in a while the 4-tap. Now for the Alpha Commanders, also known as Beta Commanders, he is around 10 to 11 shots. If the status effects are applied correctly, he can be a 9-shot, but like I said earlier, the status effects are currently bugged. So as of right now, he is a 10 to 11 shots for the Coyote, especially if you let that fire damage apply to him. For the Coyote on Biotitan Tech, what you want to do is aim for his chest or aim for his stomach and just mag dump between those 2 places, because you are putting a lot of fire damage out towards him, and fire damage is really strong against the Biotitan. Including that, you're just stacking ballistic damage well, so you're just stacking 2 damages upon each other, and it takes around 4 max to do so. This is you get the chance to do it. Normally some people just don't get the chance to do this, but if you do get the chance, do what I just said, aim for his chest or his stomach and just mag dump between those 2 places. It will take around 4 mags. Normally, yes, you do want to use a recoilless rifle, quasar cannon, or any sort of anti-tank weaponry you had. I just had the opportunity to do this so right then and now, so I was like, might as well just get the clip of this, and it was pretty epic when I did it, not gonna lie. For the Impaler, once his ugly face is shown and his tentacles are in the ground, you can just mag dump his face, but if the tentacles are retracted, blocking his face, you can go under him and shoot the fleshy part under him and just mag dump into that fleshy area as well. It takes around 2 magazines for the Coyote to kill the Impaler. For the Behemoth or Spore Charger, it takes 2 mags plus 30 bullets to take out the abdomen. Earlier, I did say thorax in my last video. Turns out I was wrong, and I suck ass at bug anatomy, which is good because, you know, liking bugs is treasonous anyways. But it takes 2 mags plus 30 shots to take out his abdomen. For the Rocket Devastators and Heavy Devastators, what I saw is that Coyote is a 6-shot, especially if you just let the Coyote burn them up from the inside. But what you want to do for these guys is always go for weak points. This is just a general consensus on if you do not go for weak points and you're just aiming for the chest or you're aiming for the thighs or whatever. It's a 6-shot weapon all around against these two enemies. For the Berserkers, they are also a 5 to 6 shot as well, meaning you did let the fire take control and burn him out for the inside. For the Hulk on Coyote tech, you do want to stun him with gas nades or stun nades and go around and just shoot at his ventilator and mag dump on that. It should be less than a 1 mag. For the basic soldier bots is going to be a 2-hit as always. For the Coyote and like any other weapon, what you should normally do is aim for the Rocket Strider's missiles, but if you guys want to know, it takes around 6 shots if you aim for the Rocket Strider's crotch. For the gunships, it takes 1 mag and a few shots if you aim for the thrusters. Normally, you want to take them out with like an AMR or a railgun, but if you don't have those two things, you can use the Coyote and just aim for those thrusters. It's 1 mag and a few shots. So for the tank, I'm not going to lie, it was pretty hard to tell, but from what I gathered, it took around 2 to 3 mags for the tank. Normally because I did die around the normal chaff trying to take out the tank with the Coyote against the ventilators. So if you do have the Coyote and you do want to take out with the tank, aim for those ventilators on the back. It should be a 2 to 3 mag. Last but not least, the Factory Strider. So for the Factory Strider versus Coyote tech, what you want to do is take out the chain guns, get under him as quick as possible so the cannon won't ragdoll you, because the cannon doesn't ragdoll you from a certain proximity. I think it's around like 10 or 15 meters if you're in front of him, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, once you go towards him, go under that belly and just start mag dumping his belly. You can mag dump one side or the other side. It takes roughly around 9 magazines for the Factory Strider to die by the Coyote. I am a madman for figuring this out. It takes 9 magazines to take him out with the Coyote. Hello, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was fun making this video, especially against the Illuminate side, where I was just having fun just mowing down almost every enemy with the Coyote. But now here's the ranking for the Coyote. Overall, I give the ranking an A tier weapon. It is good against the Illuminate. It's an S tier. It's pretty decent against the Terminids. It's like an A to S tier weapon depending what sub faction you're facing. And for the bots, it's like a B tier, because for the bots there is better weapons than the Coyote overall. There's the Diligence, the Amendment, the Diligent Counter Sniper, the Jar Dominator, things that can just one tap weak points. To me, will just be better than the Coyote. Not saying the Coyote isn't a fun weapon against the bots. It is truly a fun weapon overall against all 3 factions, but it's obviously better choices. This is not the best weapon in the game. It's not OP. It's not broken. It just stands out from a category that is mediocre. The AR category has always been mediocre, and what makes the Coyote quote-unquote strong or OP is because it stands out from the mediocre category. When the category, the best weapon was the Reprimand, and the Reprimand is an SMG, and people call it the best AR. That's when you knew the AR category has always been on the negative side of things. But that's a different rant for a different day. I hope you guys had a good day. Hope you guys liked this video. Like I just said, the Coyote is an A tier weapon. I like this weapon, and I like using this weapon. I'm out. Peace.